on? How's life?
Oh, it's fun. It's
Yeah,
different.
right.
But it's good.
What were you doing before the quarantine?
Basically was on a 10-day vacation in Colorado and Utah.
Oh, lucky, lucky.
Yeah, so I got to experience that. I went skiing and had a good time out there. But basically, as soon as I came back, it was a reality check, I guess, and I was out of work and I had to find
Yeah.
something else.
Which job did you have then?
I was still a waitress at Marsala's, the Italian restaurant.
Ah,
It's
yep.
a family-owned joint, so it got hit pretty hard, and it sucks because we were having such a good season. So it is what it is, and everybody, they have to support their family, so I totally respect that. And if there's
Yeah,
work to
yeah. I
be
mean, it's a
done,
lot of
it's
businesses. A lot of them. I mean, it really comes down to just them not knowing. You know
mhm.
what I mean? They really don't know what's going to come of it. They don't know what their customer base is going to do. And the scariest part, especially with here in Southwest Florida, and not many people are talking about it, but we just lost the two most important months of our season.
Mhm.
Which it might not put anybody out of business this moment because they were absolutely killing it before the quarantine, but come the off season, the middle of summer, when they're normally doing anywhere from 40 to 60% of the season's actual income, and they don't have that money in the bank from these last 2 months, then they're going to be in a hard spot. That's the real scary part.
Yeah, well, I've noticed, so I've been doing the Uber Eats, and so Subway, for example, if they don't have the product, like the delivery truck is not necessarily bringing that. So the Gatorade was out of stock and the oatmeal cookie, for example. And it's like, all right, if they're not delivering it, then like that demand supply, it's all going to, I don't want to say get worse, but in a sense, we're not seeing the total effect of
Yeah, and that's the weird part. Like I work with a lot of people. My one buddy has one of the biggest eBay, Amazon stores in existence right now, and he saw a little hesitation with things coming from overseas, but honestly, it hasn't been much of a slowdown. The products are still coming over. Production is still happening. Some facilities had to move their production from their regular things to more medical-based things like face masks and things of that nature. But that's more of just a consumer demand, I guess you could say. It's just what people are looking for right now. So that's what they're selling. But for actual movement of materials and logistics, there shouldn't be much of effect. Actually, the cost should be lower with the oil battle that's happening between Syria and Russia right now to who's winning the oil. And that's why our gas prices are so cheap. Like transportation right now should be pretty low, as well as shipping, and things are still moving. It's just, you look at the restaurants. Restaurants didn't close their doors because of the mandate. They closed their doors because after the mandate was released, consumers stopped coming in.
Mhm.
And for a restaurant, on a Friday night, if you're a top level restaurant, you're going to put 4, 5, 6 people on staff. And if nobody shows up, how do you pay these people? You're literally not getting enough money in the door to pay your employees, which leaves them saying, well, crap, we can only do this once or twice, and then we're seriously in the hole, especially in a restaurant that doesn't have a huge profit margin.
Mhm. Well, for me, it was like no one was even coming in, and then it was mandated that it was to go only. And it was like, okay, well, now this is really a problem. What delivery services can I do? And you kind of work with what you have to do with that service
I mean,
industry, I
yeah,
guess. So,
that's an amazing example. You know what I mean? Like, I love what you posted on Facebook. It's the reason I reached out to you because, it's that's just one example of physical things that you can still do,
mhm.
right? So, like on the physical side, if you order a pizza from Domino's right now, there's a giant flyer on the front of it. It says we're hiring 200 new delivery drivers. So they're in no shape or form in a bad spot. They're killing it. They're doing great right now. So you have opportunities there. You have opportunities Uber Eats, Grubhub. I'm pretty sure there's 5 different delivery services
There's
outside.
Instacart, Shift, it's all there, yeah.
Yeah, all that.
DoorDash, Postmates.
Right? Exactly. So if you have a car,
Hmm.
multiple physical options there. And then, even though people are in quarantine, people are still lazy, like in general. So like your home improvement businesses haven't fallen off. So if you live in a gated community and, you're a guy that likes to work outside or a girl that likes to work outside, you know, walk around and be like, hey, I'm doing lawns, or hey, I'm doing, cleaning while you're home. I can do pressure washing, things like that. There's a lot of options you can do on the physical side that will keep the social distancing, and will also give you an opportunity to make money. But the real reason I reached out to you is not so much the physical side, it's the digital side that I don't think a lot of people are talking about. There's so many options that have been out there for so long for anybody to make money that people don't really grab a hold of, especially here in the US. So, for example, Upwork and Fiverr are two amazing websites that you can post anything that you're gonna on the digital scale. And if you're not good at it, it's honestly not that hard to learn. So if you like graphics, if you like imagery, and you like things like that, go learn Photoshop through 5 or 6 different YouTube videos. Then you can download the program, or use a free program like Canva. Canva is a completely free digital design program. You can literally go to Canva, go there, scan through everything. I don't have the best design eye. I have more of a sales eye after all these years running a marketing agency. So like I can look at things and say, okay, this is the right copy I need to put. These are the colors that I need for it to pop and things like that. But when it comes to a graphic designer, someone that's like a true artist, like you have that design eye in you where if you wanted to do graphics, you could easily, and you like it, go through Canva or Photoshop or Illustrator and create graphics. And people are paying still for those designs. Like it's not like every business has just blown to the wind and said we're done. The people that are willing to go out and still grow their business are still looking to pay people to do graphic design. You don't like graphics, but you like writing. Like you love writing stories. You can do copywriting. You can do blog posts for people. So there, if you go through Fiverr and Upwork and you kind of scan through those, like the most required jobs or the most posted jobs, you're going to find multiple different avenues that you have online to make money. And then once you are confident about those things, put a low cost on it, post your job offering on Fiverr, post it on your social media, and you'll get people that friends or family or business owners that that are just like, hey, I've been looking to put some more content out there. I've been looking for someone to come do pictures. I've been looking for someone to do graphic design, things like that. And those options are still out there, but you got to look a little more digital. I think that's what this whole thing is going to do, is really explode the digital realm. I think that's what's going to come out of all this quarantine stuff.
Yeah, 100%. To kind of like level that, it's the opportunity is infinite to grow that in a sense of the online marketing of to-go orders. Like we want the capability to do that easier and more conveniently. So some of these websites aren't really designed to be mobile friendly and things like that. So if someone is willing to basically take the time and learn that skill, or if they already know it, of course they can be applying themselves to that type of work. Or it seems really like everybody can kind of create within this new type of option. We're all working from home.
Yeah, start understanding leverage. Like I was talking to a business yesterday, explaining them how powerful a list is. Like for businesses, it's like a list of previous customers, which is a huge level of leverage. But us as like normal everyday people, like example, if you're someone that lives in a sterile park and you've lived there your entire life, and 100 or 90 general people around, you might not be your best friends, but these people. If you went and connected all of them through a Facebook group or an email marketing chain or any type of listing where you say, hey, these are my people, these are the ones that are listening to my recommendations, you could then go to any business and become a marketer, right? You can then go to a mom and pop store and say, hey, I have 90 people in this group that says, if you have a discount code or you have a special you want to run on a Friday night dinner, I can get this offer in front of the 90 people within a second. And all I want is for every single person that uses ABC coupon code, I want $2, $3, $4 from that, depending on how high their ticket price is. And then your 90 people just made you $3 a pop. Like if you're very social, that works great for you. If you're not very social, if you're more of an introvert, the online, writing blogs or designing graphics, you only have to talk to one person at a time. It's very simple. Yeah, they're kind of pains in the ass sometimes when they're asking for changes and things of that nature. But in general, like no matter what you're into or your social representation of how you see yourself, like there's definitely options out there. There's definitely options. Like even with the mobile friendly stuff, like there's so many ways for you to either be a salesperson where you can just find someone that can do it for them, or you can be the actual producer and learn how to do it yourself and optimize their website. But people will pay a lot of money for that. You can tell them that you can bring them more, 20, 30, 40 more employees per month from making it mobile friendly or setting up their online ordering. They'll pay you good money to do that because you're going to bring money to them. And I think that's a hidden art that a lot of people in our generation just aren't using. You know what I mean? That and sales. Like, there's so many sales opportunities right now. It's absolutely insane. And I don't think a lot of people in our generation are, I don't want to say confident enough, but I don't know, they're just not going after it. You see a lot of older people in the sales industry, right? Either selling for a business or selling a certain product. It's not an easy industry or easy niche, but if you're good at talking to people, like, you can make some serious money even right now in downtime.
With, with that, what type of products do you think we could be selling?
I mean, a lot of
Like,
it
I know
is,
a lot of weird industries are booming right now, but it's,
so the thing is over the years, so if you looked at a sales job maybe like 4 years ago, they would all recommend, especially a high level sales job, they'd all say you need a bachelor's degree or some type of college degree. But in today's day and age, people are learning that that college degree is worth less and less as a evaluation for an employee, right? Yeah, the credentials are great, and if you get to school for 6 years and you have a master's degree, like, you have a level of expectation of pay, and businesses understand that. But you will get the job because of your resume. You will not keep the job because of your resume. You'll keep the job because of how you execute. So if you can go and you can sell, honestly, if you go to Indeed right now and look for sales jobs, it's through the roof. Like, people need people, even just to do at-home sales where you're just making phone calls, right? And you're saying, hey, I'm looking to set appointments. I'm hiring people right now. Like, I'm calling friends and family and saying, hey, here's a list of 200 people. If you, all you have to do is give them a phone call and set up an appointment with me. Don't even have to sell nothing. Just got to set an appointment, and I'll pay you $25 a person for every appointment you set. Right? You set 5 appointments, which really isn't that hard if you're good on the phone. You made $100 within an hour, 2 hours. There's definitely money to be made, and a lot of different companies are like that. If you want to sell your own individual products, this is a great time to learn drop shipping. People's general funds are a little bit low, but drop shipping is simply you being the salesperson for a product and then finding a product that will ship one at a time. That's all drop shipping is, right? So if you go to Alibaba Express or Alibaba.com, which are websites that sell products, and if you guys don't know about those websites, your jaw will drop if you go check them out. So, like, you know about the websites?
I do. I attempted it. I was going to do like umbrellas and I just couldn't find a niche of products that I wanted to sell.
Yes, right? So there's everything there. There's
It's infinite.
everything. Yeah. And to be a good drop shipper, like, you either have to understand how to study products that are selling hot and not have any emotion, or have them advertising funds to kind of advertise every product little by little and see what's selling. It's the only 2 ways to figure out what works the best. But you go to Alibaba, you make sure that the product has an e-pack, which means they'll ship one at a time and it's free shipping over here to the US. And you literally just take that information, scrape all the information, copy and paste, steal the pictures, and then you go create a Shopify store and post it all up there, and then promote that Shopify store and sell the products. The promotion's the hard part. Building the Shopify store isn't. There's literally step-by-step walkthroughs on how to do that. Promoting the store to sell products is the hard part. But if you go to Amazon or eBay or Walmart and look at these major online sales representations, they'll show you which is the most hot sale right now. So it's a product that you can kind of hop into and already start selling, right? Because people buy it. Like right now, like resistant cables and indoor fitness stuff, blowing up, absolutely blowing up, right? Because everyone's trying to work out at home. A lot of cleaning supplies, at-home supplies, things like that are doing great because everyone's finally sitting at home, right? If you have like a passion for something that you want to sell, it's always going to be a little more difficult because you're going to have emotional attachment to it. And when it doesn't work, you're going to get upset. When it does work, you get super, super excited. So it's an up and down roller coaster. But if you want to start selling something, honestly, go to Amazon, find top sellers, then go to Alibaba, find products that are like it, steal those products, post on a Shopify store. First month of Shopify is free. So
that's the greatest advice you could give to anybody watching this. Get on it.
That's the thing. I mean, like you said, you're even driving, right? It's all about having to actually.
Well, and you like I'm not really proud of it, but it is what it is. I'm delivering for Domino's as well.
Oh, yeah. So I mean,
but they hired me like on the spot. It's like, all right, cool. I'm jumping on that like wavelength of opportunity, basically.
Exactly. And all it is just making money. I mean, when everyone else is like, okay, it's cool, we're in quarantine, like I get to play video games and watch Netflix all day. Like I can't personally do that. Like
No,
I
I
want to
don't
be.
want to. I never have.
Yeah, exactly. Don't get me wrong. Like I'll watch some Netflix shows once in a
Mhm.
while, but I'm not going to be so bored that I'm going to watch some gay dude play with his tigers, and I couldn't even stomach 5 minutes of that TV show. Like it's ridiculous. But again, there's going to be a point where
Trend.
there's going to be a point where you're going to have to make money, right? It's like over 70% of the U.S. population is living paycheck to paycheck. Today, this Friday will be the third week we're in quarantine here in the state of Florida. So this is 100% a missed paycheck. Even if you got paid biweekly, you might have got paid last week, but
This is
this Friday is a missed paycheck. So how many more of these can you really go through without putting yourself in the hole? Like you really got to think about long term here and be like, okay, well, if I do have to stay home and I do have to follow these quarantine rules, like what can I do? Because I'm not the type of guy like social distancing, stay healthy, and everything. Since this virus has been released, I've literally been from Southwest Florida, Tampa, Orlando, Miami, Memphis, Vegas, Germany, Bulgaria. Like I've been way too many places to think that I haven't picked up this virus. So I'm just keeping my distance from absolutely everybody, but I'm still making money. You know what I mean? I'm still in a position where it's like, okay, well, online stuff is kind of my niche. Where can I go above and beyond? So I've definitely even spiked up everything I'm doing, from general content creation to opening new businesses. I've kind of just been going nonstop.
That's really
But
awesome.
again, there's two sides of the coin. There's what you're doing, which is the physical side, and then what
Mhm.
I'm doing, which is the digital side. And you just got to figure out what you personally like to do and then go after it.
Well, I kind of need like a balance of both because I can't. I mean, I get that you can do your work like in a porch and digitally everywhere, but I like to physically move and go
Yeah.
places, and it's that exchange of, I guess, real energy with people and such. But
Yeah, you don't really feel any energy through a Zoom call, unfortunately.
no, not necessarily.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only if
Yeah.
it's intentional.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
So, what's been new with you? What I know you've done a few of these before. Is there anything that like your viewers want to hear, or anything that I could help out with that you've been thinking about when it comes to online stuff?
Hmm. I mean, so for me, it's been a really interesting challenge just starting this. Like I've had the idea for a very long time, but the investment side of it really, like better technology and tools, accessories, and such that I need to invest in and make it work so it's like the highest quality. So I'm attracting the viewers because that's basically what you need is good quality audio video. So been working on that, and beyond that, it's really, I don't want to say creating a following, but kind of growing locally so I can create that type of audience. And then from there, it's been like growing globally, but again, organically through me just plugging in to different conference calls and kind of like shooting my message out there. And it leads them to the website, which that's what I'm basically going with. It's so hard for me to make the website because like I have it visioned, but I don't have the patience to like work on it because it really does take a different type of focus, like energy to sit down and tweak every page and
Yeah.
words. Because I mean, I'm a perfectionist, but I want it to kind of be very structured so it looks clean, of course, and the message is just there. Um, and it's also
That
open to like everybody and they understand it. So it's been really interesting to just find the balance of it all. But at the end of the day, it's like, do I want to continue to grow it on Instagram? I want to do it on YouTube essentially, but I also plan on pulling all the audio to put it onto Spotify and, you know, grow it from there. But I do like the video side of it too.
Can I give you my little spiel?
Yeah, go for it.
So, starting off, like you really want to be omni-channel, right? So, you want to be posting across every channel possible, and the reason that is just easier for consumers to find you. A lot of people when they start making product, they try to think like, what's the best, and I'll start there. Your perception of the best might not be your viewers' perception of the best. And everything that you create is not for you. You already know all this stuff, right? You're trying to get it out there to the world. So you have to be in the viewer's state of mind. So thinking that way, having this posted on all those channels is great. I mean, honestly, you're going to start seeing a little bit of people come from here and here and here, and they're all going to come into the channel and help it grow. But the person that is spending a majority of time watching things, they might not spend the whole time on Facebook. They might be on YouTube. They might be on Twitter. Like, I personally never use Twitter. Like, if you were advertising just on Twitter, I would have never seen you, right? But since you're on Facebook, I'm running businesses through there. I saw you right away, right? Same thing if like you were on YouTube, I probably would have seen you, but it was easier for me to find you on Facebook. So being on the channel that interacts with the customer, no matter where they are, is going to be the best. So omni-channel is the best thing to do. As for like the website, the whole point of everything that you're doing is to get a message across, right? And you don't care for people to be on your website. It just needs to be a transition for them to watch things like this, right? That's the whole point.
Yeah, so eventually I was going to try to leverage like selling products, and then from there, that's also a way for people to connect, like if they want to read, I guess, more like blog style stuff or direct
Yeah,
links to
that's the only
other
thing I can see
people.
that would value what you're doing right now in a website format is that if you get this transcribed, like, you take, our conversation and take the top 10 things that you want to say, put it into actual bullet points, put it in a blog and attach the video on there and have that blog in the back end of your website. Not only will that optimize your page for all your talking points, so it'll help you on your rankings across all search engines. It'll also allow, again, for another channel for readers to interact with you. And, maybe they don't want to watch videos, maybe they want to read. Some people just, do that. If you want to sell products, like, you're doing it the right way. Like, don't touch any product sales until you hit a number goal. Like, so in your mind, say, hey, I want to have, 5,000 viewers before I start selling products, or I want to have 50,000, whatever your number is. Set up that number goal, and you'd be amazed that if you hold out and just give out the product until then, like give out information, you're not only developing trust, you're not only developing leverage with the viewership, but you will also catch eyes of interested sponsors, right? So you might be right before 5,000, right before you go to sell something, and instead of you going and finding your own product, you have a health company or maybe a holistic company reach out to you and be like, hey, we love your style, we love what you're talking about, we have these products, we would love to be sponsored on your show. And you say, hey, it's going to be X dollars for me to sponsor, and I would love a promo code, and I want to get X compensation for everything I sell through my promo code, right? That gives you two edges of the sword. And now you don't even have to worry about the distribution of the products, which is one of the hardest parts.
Mm-hmm.
And you still get upfront cash for the advertising space on your podcast, as well as you get to leverage their products, sell their products for commission. And that's kind of the best of both worlds. But yeah, just keep on with the viewership, and, make sure that you're doing this with different types of people. Like, I think, me personally, because, we're the same age, I run my own business, I have an online perspective is a good one, but like, then go out and try to find someone that, is a little bit younger and see what they're doing, to get a little bit older and see what they're doing. Just make sure you stay with your overall niche. Like, if you want to talk about helping people all the time, make sure you stay on helping people, right? You want to start, talking about health, fitness, yoga, whatever it might be. Like, make sure you keep that in the realm of who you are, and kind of make that brand idea of yourself, right? And that branding will help you grow, because people that are into that will naturally start finding you. But you're doing it right. The whole thing is that you're doing it. You beat out 90% of people just because you actually have the fortitude to go out and just get something done and put something out there.
Yeah, well, thank you, because it really was like, it took me forever to be like, are you going to do this? Are you going to do it? But I wasn't feeling good when I would just basically lay in bed pondering if I was going to start it or not. And then once I started, things just started flowing so fast, and people were interested, and I like the vision for it became clear, and I get excited to do these things now. It used to be kind of stressful, but now I'm like, it's another interview. Like, I had 3 scheduled this week. Like I told you, one got canceled, but she's like happy to do it next week. And then I have another one being interviewed like the next day, so Tuesday. And it's just really exciting even when I'm done, I hop off and I kind of do this like dance around, and I'm like it's just great. I know that I've kind of been like guided to do this. I've said it many times, but I've been wanting to kind of be an entrepreneur, of course, but this is like leverage so many new learning opportunities for me, again, with the website designing and just meeting people, how to increase and like better my communication skills, of course, and all of it, writing skills. Like it seems like it was kind of laid out for me to do, and I just want to continue to thrive in that nature and like grow this to the whatever capability and capacity it can hold. But it's truly infinite at this point because of the, the growth of online and podcast and but that niche of interest, it really is just inviting people who are making a difference in the world. And that looks different in so many ways, of course. But for you, it's like teaching people how to create opportunity with online business and, again, locally supporting businesses that need help and want help, of course. So if you have that skill set and the passion or even interest to do it, why not try it? And that's, again, it's not very easy. It also is. It's just all like what you want to put into it. And a lot of it's just fear of failure, fear of even, I guess, expectations for yourself or the other person. And you just got to go with it.
Exactly. Yeah. The fear of failure is strong in our generation, it seems like. I don't know why, but like, honestly, if you don't die, is it really that bad that you failed? Like, you know what I mean? Like, uh, the only thing that, in my eyes, the worst thing you could possibly do is do something, fail at it, and not learn, right? Because if the best learning lesson you have is a failure, right? When you do something and it becomes successful, you learn one path of how to be successful, right? You do something and you fail at it, you not only learn a single lesson of why it was wrong, but you can then go back and review, recite, and go after many different options after a failure. Once you're successful at something, it seems like mentally as humans, our options become a little more limited because we're like, oh, we can do this. Well, I know exactly how to do this. I did this once, it's fine. And then when it doesn't work out the same way the second time, we get stumbled. I truly believe that failure is like my greatest friend, honestly, throughout my years. It's the only thing that's made me successful because I was just like, the ambitious little kid that was like, when I was 15 years old, I wanted to own a business and play professional paintball. And like, everyone would laugh at little fat Kyle Berry. And like, it's funny because at the end of the day, that's exactly what I did. And now, my biggest thing now, like you said, is really just trying to help people. I coach for paintball and I love helping people and showing people the game of paintball and like how it's great for them and working little kids up so that they become strong young men because of the sport. And then on the business side, I absolutely love helping people. Like it really does put a smile on my face to watch someone that's been a business owner for 5, 6, 7 years who has struggled every day and has, anxiety because of all the things he's got to go through as a business owner, and showing him a path, not because I know better, just because all I cared about was trying to find a way to help people like him. I can't build a house. I have no idea. I might have a slight idea on how to put it together, but that bitch would probably fall down. Like, I'm not quite sure how the 10 steps of putting that together, but the guy that does build the house, I know how to make his life easier, how to make it so he has more customers, how he has more money, how his employees can get paid more. And at the end of the day, if I can just help that one guy, it could flood to 20, 30, 40 people, just kind of like a river of happiness and good things to come.
Sure. It's like rewarding, extremely rewarding.
Yeah, extremely.
Cool. Well, do you want to speak about like how you got started? Like, I mean, you have a degree, of course, right?
No.
You don't. No, that's right.
So I
my favorite.
path is a little bit different. No, it's all good. It's all good. So I came from a small town in upstate New York called DeWaynesburg. At the time, I was, a top student. I actually went to college for free for a year for engineering. But in my senior year, I bought my father's business from him. I worked for him when I was like 11 years old, like working behind the cash register. And by the time I was 16, I was the head chef in the kitchen. And then 18, I bought the business from him. So when I was 19 years old, my first year of college, I was trying to do I was working at a used car dealership on Monday and Tuesdays. I was running my business Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then Monday through Friday, I was going to school for for engineering classes. And it kicked my ass. Like it really beat me up. I did good. Don't get me wrong, for the first year. But after the first year, it was 2013. My family decided to relocate down here in Cape Coral. So they left. And when they left, our house was on top of our business. So we had to close our business down. So it kind of left me annoyed, and I went around. I traveled upstate New York for like 6 to 8 months. Kind of like homeless, bouncing around, trying to find a place, trying to find what I wanted to do with my life. And then finally moved down here to Florida. In 2014 was when I moved down full time to Florida, and I started off with nothing. So at that point, I was just a cook. Like, I didn't know anything about digital anything, right? I could use my phone and play on my computer, but when it comes to sales and stuff like that, I had no idea. So I luckily found a financial guy that became my mentor, who got me a job doing sales in advertising. This was in 2015. And whew, that one kicked my ass. So I worked for Valpak, the little blue envelope that comes in the mailbox with the coupons. And I was the youngest guy in the entire corporation. So when I went to Chicago for sales training, like, I was the youngest person there by like 20 years. So I was like completely out of my realm. My first 6 months was nerve wracking. I was really breaking out in hives because I had quotas I had to hit and I couldn't hit them. So I'm like freaking out up till 2 o'clock in the morning, sending emails and stuff like that. And by the second year, I was the #1 salesman in the state of Florida. So, you know, it was just, you know, a very high level adversity, and overcoming that kind of gave me a great understanding of what you need to be successful. If you haven't done a sales job and you want to be an entrepreneur, or you want to make something really, really big of yourself, go find a sales job. Even just tell the guy, hey man, I'll work off commission. I know it's a rough position to be in, but you will learn so much about yourself, about how to control emotions, how to work with people, how to get closed. Like, closing a deal is a lot more difficult than you think. Like, when it comes to something that you know is good for somebody else, but they have no prior knowledge of what it is, informing them, educating them, showing them the right path, and then actually giving them the fund out money for it is difficult. So did that for 2015, 2016, coming into the very end. Actually, it was December of 2016. So it's the start of 2017. I left Valpak and became a marketing director for a home improvement business. Did that for about 6 months. Then got a job with another marketing company, did Facebook ads for them for a little bit. And then in the beginning of 2018, I started my business. And honestly, guys, before working for Valpak, I never really worked in the computer before. Like, I have kitchen scars up and down my arms from working in the kitchen for so many years, you know? So before Valpak, I had no idea. Valpak gave me a good idea what advertising was and taught me the basis of it. And then showed me kind of some online tools, and that's when I started studying. And when I say studying, I mean watching Facebook video or watching videos on YouTube, listening to podcasts, reading books that were focused on psychology of an individual that's successful, right? So if you read books like The Outliers, or man, I drew a blank. Crushing It by Gary Vee is amazing. The Outliers. There's one more book that I always tell people to read, and I just blanked on it because I think this is super, super important. Hold on. Where's my Audible? The other book is Grit by Angela Duckworth. It's an amazing, amazing book. It's all about, you know, the determination that's needed to be successful. So, you know, I started reading books like that, and I didn't read before, guys. Like, I didn't care to read. I didn't like books. Like, you know, it was just, I found that for some reason, very, very successful people put their knowledge in books. They're not going to tell you it. They're not going to make podcasts. They're not going to create videos. They write books, and that's just what they do. And you can read a book and really learn about them. And that's going to be the only way for you to retain and take in the knowledge of people that have been very successful. And that's what you want. You know, you want to have a vision of your future and the goals that you want, and then try to find someone that's similar. Yes, we're humans. We're all different in our way, shape, and form. But honestly, the world's been around for so long, and there's been so many unique individuals out there. You can find someone that has like-minded ideas as you, or has gone through the same path as you. It's, as I always tell kids that I coach, I didn't have to get hit by a bus to know to not walk in front of a bus, right? I was told that. Like, you shouldn't have to play with fire and get burnt to learn something every single time. Sometimes it's better to sit back, read, understand, listen, and absorb the knowledge, and then act on it in a better way instead of just jumping into it and trying to figure it out yourself, because it's honestly the hardest way. It makes you hard. It makes you strong. Like, it definitely sharpens your blade and makes you thick, but it's a lot longer of a process. It's going to be an emotional roller coaster, and you're going to get beat up along the way. It's just the way it is. So Yeah. And then at the end of 2017, after working for a few businesses, I decided to open my own agency. That was a roller coaster in its own. Like I went from literally zero my first day to I was doing like $2,000 by the end of my second month. And then by almost the end of the first year, I was almost hitting $60,000 a month in net income, right? Which is through my mind, bunch of money, absolutely insane. But a lot of that money went to contractors and to employees to run the business. And once I had all those guys in place, I thought I was good to step back. But, you know, one of the hard lessons I learned even after doing all that is that you need to always be a leader in a position where you're working with multiple different people. And I didn't teach them well enough to kind of work on their own. I took a weekend off where I went to a paintball tournament to play an event. During the time I was in the tournament, they made some huge errors with my clients, and it really upset two large clients that I had multiple businesses with me, and they dropped out. And 2 months later, I went from $57,000 a month to $8,000 a month. So, and then I literally fired my entire team, laid off one or two more clients, and then started all over fresh, doing it all myself. And you know, it's just, again, it's failure. It's me messing up, but you learn from it and you evolve from it, and you understand, okay, when I get to that $57,000 next time, this is what I need to do differently, right? And that will allow for me, hopefully, be successful here after this whole damn quarantine thing ends and I can actually get back to the swing of things. But yeah, that was early 2019 where I had to reset my whole business, and I've kind of been running the agency, working with some small clients. I had another marketing director job for an international paintball company that I did some amazing work for the last 6 months. And then they actually laid me off with the coronavirus. So just like you, I lost a big position, but luckily, you know, I had the understanding of marketing to go out and pick up a few more clients and, you know, work with some local companies here like Buckingham Farms and Bahia Bowls and some great businesses in the local area where I'm helping them get more business and keep them alive and keep them strong while putting a few dollars in my pocket.
Yeah, for sure. And it's the real grind or hustle, some will call it, that you've got to do to not even support yourself, but think of options, like get creative with what we can all do to not basically solve this problem of coronavirus, but again, helping others during these times. And it looks so differently again from many different perspectives, but who wants to really depend on the government handouts or the unemployment funds and all that? Like,
yeah,
none of that has been working, or is it coming? No one knows. Like, the answers aren't really there. So it's really ambiguous for me. I don't know how others feel, but that's where my added stress is coming from. So I've kind of learned to choose another side of experiencing this whole thing. And there's, again, just infinite opportunities, it almost seems like. Now I get that not everybody can just apply to be an Uber driver or Uber Eats or Postmates, DoorDash, etc. But you can still do like the lawnmower, like lawn service, car detailing even. Or actually my roommate, she had someone come over and do the car detailing, you know, mobile service like that. So again, the work is there. It's just how lazy or how successful do you want to be and make it work for you, of course. So
exactly. Yeah, it's just all about, you know, putting your nose to the grindstone and actually getting stuff done. So I always appreciated you. You're always a go-getter.
awesome. Thanks. It's kind of something I got from my mom, but I also just don't enjoy like basically watching everybody else around me not be successful, but it almost looks like they're enjoying life in a different way and they found their niche of interest, and it's like they're thriving in that environment. So it's taken a while to get to where I'm at, but it's nothing short of what anybody else can find and do for themselves too. So it's pretty much the work that we're all doing is like inspiring others to be their best self and, you know, do good work.
Yeah. And you're doing awesome with the podcast. I mean, honestly, I'm hoping that this will help change a few people and help put some confidence in people that there's still things out there to make money. And, you know, the only thing that depression or being upset or, you know, a high level of anxiety is going to do is just, you know, honestly kill you faster. Stress is the fastest killer in existence. So you're still here. You gotta, you know, you gotta love life. That's the whole thing. If you get to wake up every morning and experience, especially here in Southwest Florida, it's like 80 degrees outside. There's palm trees. It's beautiful. Like, just wake up, try to put a smile on your face, and figure out what you need to do to make sure things get done. Stress is just things that have to be checked off the list. Don't think about it as something that's going to ruin your life or end your life. Just think about something that's got to get done, and how do you get it done? And that's all it comes down to.
No doubt. So how do you manage your stress?
I mean, there's a few solutions. It was a lot of paintball, paintball was really my recreational stress reliever, right? Like what I could do on the weekends, and unfortunately closed that down. So I'll probably go fishing tomorrow on Saturday when I normally play paintball. But honestly, working out every day helps a lot. So if you want a true stress reliever, go work out. And if you don't have anything to work out, just go for a run. You'll be amazed how much better you feel just from a little working out. Even if you hate working out, like I hate running. God, I hate cardio. I'll go lift weights all day, but the gyms are closed. So what do I have to do? I have to go for a run. So any run or any physical activity is really going to enlighten your day. It's going to make you feel better. Outside of that, if you find, like we talk about all these things we could have done in this, in this interview of things you can do for work to make money, just go find an enjoyment in one of those. And if you don't like it, go to the next one. Don't like it. Once you find an enjoyment in something, then you're going to love to do it. It's going to be a stress reliever for you. You're going to actually enjoy it. Like I wake up every day hoping that I can break through the wall and explode my client's business and help them out and get great text messages and phone calls from them saying, hey, we're doing amazing. Like, I absolutely love what you're doing for us. That type of stuff gets me up, gets me going every single day and keeps me happy. You got to go out there and find something that you enjoy. And a lot of times people think that's movies and video games, but you got to understand that's entertainment. Like that was designed that was psychologically designed just to keep your entertainment, just to keep your attention on the screen. It is not actually enjoyment. You can play video games all day, hop off and be pissed off. Mm-hmm. Like you're not going to feel better from, playing video games or watching TV. It's just going to kind of put you not at a high, not at a low, but just this null point where you're just kind of going through things. And I'm not talking about video games at all. I'm not talking down about movies. I love movies. I don't play video games much, but I'll hop on sometimes. But
there's a balance you got to find.
Yeah, there's a balance, and you got to find out what actually creates the homeostasis in that balance. Like, what do you actually have to do to find that level point of happiness? And I'm telling you right now, working out is going to be an amazing thing, and then finding something you love is even better. But if we could all come out of this quarantine looking jacked, I think the world would just be a happier, better place. I don't think that's going to happen, but if everybody can come out of this with a new skill and a new sense of appreciation of health, I think that's the big thing that everyone's trying to stress is being healthy. I'm going to be honest with you, 90% of the things that they're saying online and on the news are shit that we learned in kindergarten. Like, cover your mouth when you sneeze. Like, if you don't feel good, don't go out in public. Oh, shit, really? Like,
wash your hands.
Yeah, exactly. We got tutorials coming out now on how to wash hands. Like, seriously, guys? Like, this is not something new. It's not something groundbreaking. The only thing that's groundbreaking new is that they quarantine us, that they, like I went to FGCU the other day to play basketball, and they took the rims off the backboard.
Wow.
Like, left the backboards up, but took the rims down. So I'm just standing there with a basketball, like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? Like, it was mind-blowing. So they're doing everything they can to make sure they separate us. In that separation, like, it definitely is the only difference in the 26 years I've been alive. That's the first time I've ever seen anything like this. So that's the only different part, man. Outside of that, it's the same thing you would do even if this wasn't quarantine. You got to find things that make you happy. And now with the amount of time of reflection you have, don't spend it sleeping. Like, the world still turns when your eyes are closed. Like, you sleeping might feel good for you laying in bed, but honestly, you're not getting anything done. And there's so much out in the world to experience. You don't want to waste it with your eyes closed. So get up, and even if you just get up and sit and then meditate and allow yourself to think while awake, you'll do a lot more good for your future and your health than keeping your eyes closed sleeping. So that's the big thing I want to stress. A lot of people were butting heads with me in the beginning of all this because they all thought I was undertaking how bad the coronavirus is. I'm not. In my eyes, it's a virus, right? I'm not talking it down. What I am trying to do is talk up the importance of you cannot take 3 weeks, a month, 2 months off of life. Like, it doesn't work that way. Like, I can't guarantee you that you'll get COVID-19, but I can guarantee you if you don't work for a month, your ass gonna be broke. Like, that's the only thing that is really scaring me, especially if you think about like single mom and dad with 2 kids who just lost their only form of income. Like, that right there is who I hope hears my message and it takes that in and finds a way to make money and keep food on the table for their kids.
Vacation time's over. It's been over. I think, the 2-week hiatus of just resting and soaking up Netflix or reading books that you haven't read, organizing closets, drawers, kitchen spaces, everything.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, now what do you want to do? What makes you happy? Have you discovered that along those 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Maybe not. Maybe you have. I know I was in Panera yesterday, and there was a Trek guy, and the amount of sales, I guess, like they're 100% up in sales. So maybe even helping your local bike shop, like repair or sell or basically get out to the public for free, whatever that looks like, again, in your community. But there's so many options, and it is refreshing to know, because it took me a few days to like adapt and be like, all right, again, am I going to continue to fall in this? Basically, it felt like a downward world spiral into something that it was depressing. And I've felt that many times in my life, and I know better at this point to not allow that to like keep me going day to day. So I was like, you know what, if the restaurant thing is not okay, that can happen. Let's think alternatively. To go service, like I said. So just find something now. Like, it's here, it's what we can do, and from there it's like spend your money wisely. Don't, like, we can't obviously waste it on shit we don't
Yeah.
need. We never have really needed it. Of course, it's nice to have a few useful functioning products, but at the end of the day, like, be smart and choose wisely, support locally. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's this the support local thing is my whole campaign recently. Like, all I'm trying to do is reach out to businesses within a 50-mile radius and say, hey, if your doors are still open,
Yeah.
let's get on a strategy call. Let's talk about what we can do to better it. Let's talk about how we can get customers to still interact with you. And if you can't do sales right now, let's put a game plan together so that when you come out of this quarantine, you're in a better position for your business than when you got into it. Because with this downtime, we do have huge possibilities. Like, if you go look at my business, KB Social Media and Online Advertising, I've posted up some blogs and some content up there about things that you can do today as a business owner to really elevate your business coming out of quarantine. And that's the whole thing. You can't be stagnant at this time. And for people that have gotten sick or have dealt with this illness, like, I feel out for you. Stay healthy. Hopefully you follow the guidelines, but the numbers are very low, guys. Like, if we be realistic and you look at numbers of people that get influenza every year, which is the regular flu, compared to COVID-19, like, it's really, really low. It's just, we do not normally have news broadcasters talking about death all day long. Like, it just doesn't happen. So it's depressing a lot of people. It's putting a lot of people in a negative mindset. But you have to look through the smog and actually, see what it is that you're living life every day and do the best about it. Don't let the media influence the way that you think or the way that you live your life. You just got to take it for what it is. And if it does scare you, do your research. Try to figure out a light in the darkness that will put a smile on your face so that you can continue to go forward. Because, like you said, the stimulus checking is nothing. Like, $1,200. If we're in quarantine for 2 months, that's 8 weeks. $1,200 is $125 a week. Like, that's nothing. Like, no money whatsoever. So don't count on Uncle Sam or President Trump to support us to get through this. So, yeah. Again, like, if you know anybody, like, off the record, like, if you know anybody that needs any help or anything like that, or if you ever need anybody to talk to, like, don't hesitate to reach out to me.
For sure.
I was so happy to see this because I'm pretty sure the last time we talked, you talked about doing this, and I haven't seen you produce anything besides that one video I commented on. So I was ecstatic to see you do it. So good on you.
I have a list of, like, it's probably up to 50 potential guests, and I've knocked out, I think you're number 7 now. But it's exciting because it was like the first, like my biggest problem was like, all right, so let's make the website and I have nothing to post. Oh, I have no content. That's a problem. And it was like, oh, well, the whole content is the actual recordings. I should probably schedule more recordings. So I just started reaching out to as many people, asking them if they're open for this opportunity. I'd be really humbled and grateful for it. But I think it's also a really good opportunity for them to share some insight and wisdom about their business, their lifestyle, etc. So that's where I'm at.
Good. You're killing it. And you're feeling good. You're feeling healthy. You're happy.
Yeah, oh, 100%. I mean, like I said, it was the first week, it was so rough because I was beating myself up for taking the 10-day vacation and not having more saved. But I had full intentions of season continuing, had plans to go to Maine to continue the same work and just keep traveling up there. Again, while gathering more like networking opportunities to grow this podcast and just keep living life. So it was really challenging for me at first when I was like, oh shit, there's no money. Like, I'm kind of hurting. And then I actually had to put some new tires on my car. So that was another like investment that I just didn't, like I knew it was going to happen, but I thought I had more money coming in to do it. So it was like, all right, let's logically make sense of all of this and slow down. And I just did a lot of reflecting, meditation, rode my bike a lot more, like just got smart with like, okay, don't, obviously you can't go out to your restaurants as much as I was. So it was like, all right, go grocery shopping, but be smart about what you're cooking. Is it healthy? Is it adding value in life to my life, of course? And so it's been really fun and engaging at the same time because I have more time to do this podcast, to edit it, to grow it, to even record with people during the day and not feel like stressed to know that I have to go to work at 4:30 or even like be in that side of life, which that was a lot of other added stress that I didn't realize how much it was until, it's been 3 weeks without it. And of course, anyone who has worked in the service industry or restaurant, bartending, like people suck or it can be extremely, energy draining. And with Southwest Florida clients, it's mostly older people who just don't read and don't listen or can't hear or can't see, whatever. So it's hard. You have to have a lot of patience, and it's not like what we're all designed to do. Like, yes, it's a service, but there's way better service we can be providing for others.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's what's going to come out. Like I said, like the digital realm is going to explode after this, but like, if you think about it, even if like 30% of the people that had 9-to-5s find a way to make money not doing a 9-to-5, when the job opens back up, they're going to tell them to go fuck themselves. Like they're going to just straight up, just going to be like, dude, I can make the same amount of money not dealing with your bullshit. Like I can go and do what I want to do and make money instead of, coming in here and dealing with asshole managers and asshole employees and everything else. Because it is like, this area does not contain some of the most nicest people. Like, you were in Colorado people are pretty freaking nice. Like, if I go to upstate New York, people are pretty freaking nice. If I go to Washington, people are pretty freaking nice. Like, there's certain areas that are absolutely beautiful, but we're in the tourist capital of the US and A. Freaking the old people here want it their way or the highway, and that's just what you're gonna get. And I mean, that's what they come here for. They come here for retirement. Like us, just younger people, just kind of buy into it.
Yeah, but there's no reason that we can't kind of experience whatever life or reality we want to, because we're gonna create it or demand it with our money and investments, and like we're here with them, so they can choose to like basically play with us or not. But like it's our world just as much as it is theirs. They're just kind of outdated, so it's like our version. It's time to update.
Right. And I like, you were in what part of Colorado?
We flew into Denver, ended up going to Breckenridge and Aspen.
I'm so jealous. You went skiing?
Yeah. Yes.
You ski or snowboard?
I ski.
Wow, two blanker.
What?
Yeah. Two blank. I'm a snowboarder. I snowboard for
I mean, I want to learn how to snowboard, but I've only skied. So that was my second time, and I think I'm actually way better than I expected. But it's just like the fear of doing it by myself, like, and everybody else boards, and I'm still just like a learner. So if you put me on top of the peak, I'm not really guaranteed. I don't know if I'll make it down safely.
Yeah.
So I'm still doing like the beginner, butter or just
Bunny
like
Hill.
little, Bunny
Yeah.
Hills skis.
Yeah.
But I'll go like straight lining down them because it's fast as fuck and it's awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, I literally went snowboarding in Bulgaria when I went there, and that was the first time I went snowboarding in like 6.5 years. I used to do it all winter long, every winter, and absolutely loved it.
Upstate, right? New York?
Yeah. I mean, that's like now I go wakeboarding here, but they even closed in the wakeboard park. So
Every park is closed. And I love the like shift what am I saying? Like they've made it like so last minute. They're like COVID signs and barricading this and
yeah, I was looking at that. I was like, man, the signage companies are making bank right now because everybody out of nowhere
needs a poster.
Yeah, it's real funny too because like there's a plaza across the street from me here, and it's like all the crappy businesses have like a nice laminated poster or something like that, and like the ones that are still open that really just don't give a shit, it's just a piece of paper with writing on it, like, "Hey, yeah, we're doing pickup. Call us here."
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a very very odd scenario, and it's I just hope like my friends and the loved ones stay healthy and yeah, that's all I can really hope for. I mean,
And that's make the best of it. Do what you gotta do, and make it through, everybody. So I hope everyone is happy and healthy, and I hope you continue to do the same too, of course, Kyle. So thanks for reaching out and being on here. It's really nice to have people that want to be part of this. So
well, thank you, Brittany, for having me on. It was a pleasure, and again, if you ever need anything, don't hesitate to reach out.
Awesome. Well, have an awesome day, and we'll talk soon.
You too. Stay healthy, stay strong.
Always. Thank you.